let's talk about just jamming. Let's just talk about just picking up your guitar, holding it in your hand, and feeling this home. This is home for me. Like, I've been playing guitar so long that I know if I have this guitar in my hand, I'm at home and I'm comfortable. I'm in my comfort zone right here. You know, there's some familiar things that I can do from muscle memory, from experience, that bring me connected to this instrument, right? And the importance of just like jamming and exploring and just putting your ear to this instrument and putting your hands on it and putting different shapes together and different chord progressions, different from the ones that you learned and have already owned and have mastered, right? Like exploring, taking a regular B minor chord and taking a finger off. To a G, and then changing that G up. You know, I'm not going to get specific with dialing in on my neck. You know, I'm not trying to teach you anything here. There's nothing more that I'm trying to offer here than just giving yourself the freedom. The freedom to just, do I really even need this mic? No, probably not. But the freedom to just bond with your instrument and be this musician. Be a guitar player. Be a musician. Be a creative force. This is what you were brought to this planet for. To express yourself, to shine your colors, to tell your story, to teach others, to share your story with others, and listen to other people's stories, and listen to, you know, I go to other guitar pages all the time and listen to the way they interpret things, you know, and I take a little bit with me every time, and I'm just grateful to be in a community of people that love this instrument as much as I do. John Mayer, God, that guy. Not only his ability to play guitar, but his ability to talk about it and illustrate that, you know? People like, you know, James Hetfield from Metallica, man, just the way he talks about the music, man. Some of your favorite artists, listen to the way they talk about the music. You know, that passion. I mean, I'm laughing right now because I feel this joy and like this passion and love and gratitude for making that decision a long time ago to pick up this instrument and devote the time and energy that I did, because I have an amazing life because of this instrument. Whether or not I make any money, I get to come home after a day's work and pick this thing up and feel this right here, this guitar in my hand and these strings, and then turn on that amp and hear that tone and add that reverb, you know, and tweak that tone and play with this 5-way selector switch and create like a high vibe sound, right? Like, this is positive. This is a good chord progression to bring some sunlight into my life, right? And if I wanted to just talk about, you know, whatever, man, I could just express myself right now off the cuff about how I'm feeling. The sun is shining. It feels so good on my skin. Myself, I love in the way it feels. Yeah, I can break my voice down into a deeper realm if I need to. But I think I'd rather sing up here on this chord progression, yeah, with no regression, yeah, with all of the beauty and appreciation for unconditional love. It means I don't have to be anything other than I am to love myself anymore. Oh, 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 and when I love myself, I love you even more. Anyway, you see what I'm saying? This is all off the top, man. Coming from the heart. You know, it's kind of hokey. I grew up on metal, man. I grew up on Slayer, Metallica, Pantera, you know, and 20 years ago, if I would see this video of myself, I'd be like, yeah, right, whatever. But this is it. This is the flow. This is just taking the music and moving it through your body, through your soul, through your mind, and opening up to this channel, putting your antenna up, and opening up to the channel of an infinite intelligence. And seeing what comes through. We're all channels, you know? Yeah, I could write down some words and copyright it and say that it's mine, but I'm just connected to this network of amazingness, creativity. You know, if you go outside in the jungle and nature and you look around at all of the sacred geometry and all of the, like, beautiful birds and animals and people, you know? Like, so many people, man. They're so beautiful. And we, you know, sometimes we don't always focus on that. We focus on other things, on our differences and whatnot. But there's a lot of beauty in this world and underneath that we can discover and express through music, you know, through colors on a canvas with paint, or with, you know, digging into the dirt and creating a garden. But we're here as creators, and it's our you know, privilege, I could say responsibility or duty or whatever, but it's our privilege to be a human in this time and have this instrument, you know, whatever instrument it is that you play, to doodle on, to like get that creative flow. Because we get so caught up in the rat race and making a living and all of that stuff, we forget where we came from. We forget our little inner child that was running around and had no cares. All we had to do was show up for dinner and eat, you know, and then we'd go back out in the neighborhood and explore, hang out with the kids, you know, and whatever, ride our bikes, like, find that inner child in you and talk about it. Tell your story. Like, people need to hear your story. All of the things that happen for us, not to us, you know, and try to find a way to relate with other musicians, other people. Start a channel. Say, hey, I'm Jamie Jamison. I like guitar. I want to talk about songwriting. You know, I'm not the best. There's way better people out there than me, but this is what I've learned so far, and I want to see if I can help somebody that has a little less experience than me. And that's the spirit of this channel. I just wanted to like talk about the creativity and the permission to just give yourself to be okay with missing a chord or missing a scale pattern, or not even playing scale patterns, bending any note, just putting your fingers on the guitar in no particular order and call it scribbling. You could call it jazz. Or taking one technique and just mastering it, like bending. For the longest time, I couldn't bend notes, you know? But just scribble, doodle, you know? This is an amazing instrument right here. Come up with a brand to represent your art. Find a way to separate that and create an entity or an icon that says, this is where I put my creative works. This is the jar that I put it in, and it's got this label on the outside of it, you know? Come up with a logo, get creative, you know, have somebody else do it, but try to separate yourself from the artist and from the person that you are, because they are two different entities. This gives me a way to connect with kids that are like I was when I was a kid, just fired up and like dreams of being in a big rock band and touring the world and having millions of people, you know, out in front of you at concerts. So whatever it is that you're dreaming, is that, you know, that's personal to you too. But having that vision and having that hunger and that desire and fired up about playing guitar and music, you know, that's something that I want to nurture in kids. So I have a nonprofit called Muse for Change, or movementofmusic.org, and our goal is to present music instruments to kids that, you know, like to play video games. We're trying to give them something else besides video games, because video games are pretty freaking cool, but we also want to give them something that gets them outside of that room and out of that chair and gets them to commingle with some other kids and get social, because it's important to have that connection outside of a screen. So Muse for Change, or Movement of Music, is my nonprofit. It's been for like it was established like 6 years ago or something, and I'm in Costa Rica right now, and what I do is I go to the local communities here and I teach the kids. You know, I inspire them to play music. I play music, they sing with me, we get people up there to dance, and it's just fun. We're just trying to create some some positive, creative energy and bring that to the kids because they need it. Like they need an outlet for this thing called life, you know? So I forgot where I was going with that thought, but anyway, I'm just kind of shooting from the hip. This is me. Grateful to be here. Grateful that you tuned in. And, you know, if I could summarize this whole video in one thing, it's just pick up your guitar without any expectations. Pick up your instrument without any expectations. Take a deep breath and breathe into your heart space and your body and all of your being, this orb of energy and colors that you put out, this vibration, and ask for the right thought, the right action, the right words, the right tone, the right chord from your version of whatever that is that you connect to, and become it. Do you want to create something that's happy, reggae, or do you want to go into blues and be like, there was this girl, she rocked my world. And then I've got some like, you know, that heavy, fast, kind of excited rock is what I call it. But anyway, I think I'm done rambling. Thanks for joining me. My name is Jamie Jameson. I'm very grateful to be a musician. I'm grateful to have this instrument. And if you guys have any comments or suggestions or whatever, feel free to drop in. You know, I'm just happy to be here. Glad you stopped by. You know, feel free to like and subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's totally fine too. Just happy to be here. Take care of yourself. Give yourself permission to just be bad. Just feel it. Like, become acquainted with being bad and know what that sounds like so you can turn that into something. You got to turn that chaos into something.